The River and the Three Coins. Once upon a time, in a village nestled between two mountains, there lived an old woman named Mira. Mira had worked all her life, tending her garden, weaving cloth, and selling bread at the morning market. By the time her hair had turned the color of winter clouds, she had saved 3 golden coins. Not 300, not 3,000, just 3. Her neighbors often whispered about her. Poor Mira, they said, a lifetime of work and only 3 coins to show for it. But Mira would only smile. One evening, as the sun sank low and painted the river orange, Mira called her granddaughter Lena to sit beside her on the old wooden dock. "Lena," she said, dipping her fingers into the water, "do you know why this river is so alive?" Lena shook her head. "Because it moves," said Mira. "Water that sits still in a hole becomes poison. Water that runs becomes power. Money," she added softly, "is exactly the same." She reached into the pocket of her apron and pulled out her 3 coins, laying them one by one on the dock between them. They glimmered in the last golden light. "This first coin," Mira said, placing it carefully to the left, "is for safety." She told Lena about the great storm of her youth, when the river had flooded and washed away 3 of the village's finest houses, all of them belonging to people who had spent everything they'd earned and saved nothing for the rain. "Before you ever send your money out into the world to work for you," she said, "you must keep enough at home to survive. 3 to 6 months of living in real, solid cash. Think of it as a wall around your garden. Without the wall, the deer eat everything. With the wall, your garden can bloom." Lena looked at the first coin, small, simple, but somehow reassuring in the fading light. "That coin never goes on adventures," Mira said. "It just stands guard." "This second coin," Mira continued, moving it to the center, "is for growth." She told Lena about a young merchant she had once known who buried all his savings in a clay jar beneath his house. Every year he checked it, and every year there were the same coins. But bread cost more, cloth cost more. The seasons kept moving, and his coins quietly shrank, not in number, but in what they could buy. "Saving is not the same as growing," Mira said. "Paper in a jar evaporates like water in the summer sun. You must send this coin out into land or trees or companies that build things. Let it plant seeds that grow while you sleep." She told Lena about a miracle, that money, like kindness, compounds, that a small thing, given enough time and a little patience, becomes extraordinary. She drew it in the air with her finger, a tiny sprout becoming a tree, becoming a forest. "How long does it take to double?" Lena asked. Mira smiled. "Take the number 72, divide it by whatever the coin earns each year. That's your answer in years." Lena whispered the calculation, eyes wide. It seemed almost magical. "It is," said Mira. "The greatest wonder of this world is not the mountains or the sea. It is time, working quietly on your behalf." "And the third coin," Mira said, setting it gently on the right, "is for living." She smiled, a real, warm, unhurried smile. "This is the one your neighbors never understood." She told Lena that wealth was never just about accumulation. A person who hoards everything and experiences nothing has not lived. They have simply waited. The third coin existed to be spent, not carelessly, but meaningfully. On a meal shared with someone you love. On a journey that changes how you see the sky. On a gift given to someone who needs it more than you do. This coin is for your needs, what keeps you alive and well. and for the small, beautiful wants that make being alive feel worth it. But, she added, holding up a gentle finger, only after the wall is built and the seeds are planted. She paused to listen to the river. The trouble with people, she continued, is that they spend the third coin first. They borrow against the second coin to buy things that feel like the third coin but aren't. A coat on credit, a house too large on a loan too long. These are traps shaped like rewards. How do you know the difference between a need and a want? Lena asked. Ask yourself, said Mira, whether you would still want it if no one could see you have it. They sat in silence for a while, listening to the frogs begin their evening song. The moon appeared above the tree line, round and unhurried. Grandma, Lena said finally, is that why people always say you're poor but you never seem worried? Mira laughed, a laugh that came from somewhere very deep. Worried? No, I have my wall. I have my seeds growing quietly in the earth, and I have exactly enough to live a life I chose. She picked up the 3 coins, held them for a moment, then placed them gently back in Lena's palm. The hardest thing in the world, she said, is knowing when you have enough. Most people spend their whole lives running toward a goalpost that keeps moving. They need more, and then more, and then more, until they're too old or too tired to enjoy what they already have. She closed Lena's fingers around the coins. Enough is not a small word, my love. It is the most powerful word there is. That night, Lena lay in her bed listening to the river through the open window. She thought about the 3 coins, about walls and seeds and the quiet miracle of time, about the difference between what she needed and what she merely wanted. And for the first time in a long while, she felt something she hadn't expected to feel when thinking about money. She felt calm. The river moved on in the darkness, neither rushing nor standing still, just flowing, the way good things do toward somewhere worth going. Sleep well. Your 3 coins are waiting for morning.